Hey, I'm Jake, and for this video, I wanted to hook you guys up with some really cool free instruments and audio effects that I think may add quite a lot to your music production arsenal. So, let's begin. First things first, I was actually helping a friend out, and I wanted to find her some analog simulation plugins, or analog emulation plugins, for free. She wanted to get Arturia, but it was quite expensive, so this is what I found. And this website is called fullbucket.de, and it comes with a lot of Korg simulation plugins, right? The FB3200 is a simulation of the Korg PS3200. Now, I'm not a synth geek, so I don't know the accuracy of these plugins, but to my taste, they sounded pretty good with certain presets. I wanted to show it to you, but before I do that, I want to give a fair warning. Don't download FB3300 because the GUI does not work. In my case, I'm using an M1 Mac and the GUI is frozen, so just avoid this plugin. So I've actually organized some presets for you, right? This is a channel strip, it says FB3100, and this is what the plugin looks like, and I've chosen some presets and put it into separate tracks. Let's play and hear out some of these presets that I like. And I really like this bass. I really like this bass preset, and I can't believe this plugin is free. The next thing I want to show you is the FB3200, and this is what it looks like for comparison with the first one, because they kind of look similar to me. This is the FB3100, and this is the FB3200. And these are the sounds that I've handpicked that I really like. Let's move on to this one. Let's go to this. Let's move on to this preset. I've actually added a stock reverb plugin. Really nice sound. Let's move on to this pad. I could show you all the presets, but I think it would be better for you to check it out yourself. So that's just a little preview. These are some of the other synthesizers that come with that website, fullbucket.de, all for free. And I find this really interesting because you can really sound design if that's your thing. For me personally, I'm not a crazy sound designer, but for those of you that want something analog-like under your palette and you want it for free because you don't have a lot of money to spend, this might be a good bet. I'd like to take a moment to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community that hosts thousands of awesome classes for creators. It lets you explore new skills and deepen existing ones. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes. They cover everything from animation to illustration, video editing, creative writing, and of course, music production. I've been watching a class by Grammy-winning producer named Bernard Edward Jr. called Inside the Studio: How Music Producers Collaborate with Artists. I think this is really important because as a music producer working primarily online, I'd like to prepare myself to collaborate with artists in an actual studio. It's quite hard to get the learning experience of a studio session, which is why I think it's awesome that I can learn more about this on Skillshare. They're also affordable, with an annual subscription costing less than $10 per month. Skillshare has been kind enough to provide me with a few months of premium membership, and the first 1,000 people who use the link in the description will be receiving a 1-month free trial to Skillshare Premium. The next one is by Disco DSP. It's called OBXD. And this is what it looks like. I really like this interface, and I love the fact that it comes with a lot of presets. So if you click Menu and you go to Programs, these are all your presets. But if you go to Banks, each bank has a host of presets. So you come out with 21 preset banks off the bat. That is pretty amazing. So let's just check out maybe 1 or 2 presets and, see how we feel about it. Yeah, I like this. I get kind of nervous showing you presets because, not all the presets will be great. That sounds really nice. And look at this interface. If I wanted to increase the release, just turn this knob. I love the graphics. Let's move it up an octave. Beautiful sounding synth. The last set of plugins that I want to show you for analog emulation. I'm not actually sure if this is analog emulation. It's pretty famous. It's called UHE. I don't know how you pronounce it. But let's start off with the plugin Zebralet. So what I really like about this plugin is, of course, the interface is really nice, but when you click presets, it's really well organized. So you click keys, and you have a whole bunch of key presets. Same thing with the pads. You can scroll over to find more. And you have your basses, etc. So let's take a look at a few examples. This preset over here. Really cool. The next one is Tyrell N6. Now, this preset library is really messy, and I can see that it was made in 2013 or copyrighted, so that means this is a pretty old synth, but it's got some really good sounds, and it's just a bit messy. So let's see how this sounds. How about this one? Glunka. So I'm not too much of a big fan, but I do like the sound of the oscillators. I'm not sure if I'm just tricking my brain because I really like the GUI, but if you look around the presets, take your time, you'll find a lot of good sounds. It's just quite messy. The last one is Podolsky. Now this one I really like. First things first, the interface is beautiful. You have your amplifier, delay, and chorus, your effects down at the bottom. In the middle, you have your filter and oscillator. And at the top, you have your envelope, your global controls like LFOs and voicing. You have a built-in arpeggiator, and you have a also well organized set of presets. So let's just click keys and let's play something. That's beautiful. Now, I think the release is too long, and this is why I like getting free plugins that are good with a decent interface. I can see from the envelope that I can lower the release. Right? Just lower it here. And there's a bit of delay, so I can bring down that mix and bring down that feedback. And now, really good sound. Let's move over to this guy. It's very interesting. Let's check out some pads. What's this? Dream pad. Beautiful, beautiful sound. I would definitely get this. And let's see this MIDI sub. That is really nice. I think Podolsky is my favorite plugin out of this selection. So that's it for analog emulation, and we'll move on to the next section. Next up, we're going to be talking about more modern synths. So I'm going to bring up this plugin called Surge. It's a modern synthesizer. This actually used to be a paid plugin and became open source, and it's got some really good sounds and it's got a good community behind it. So let's just go over to Plux. I've used this preset a lot, Convex. I love the sound. So that's Convex. Let's look at pads. Flux capacitor. Let's bring it up an octave. Next up, let's bring this pad 6. Not a big fan of that sound, but as you can see, there's a lot. Let's move over to the basses. This is where I really like this plugin. Let's play the same riff. So that's bass 3. Let's move over to bass 4. A lot thicker. If you do music production on the iPad, you'll probably know this company. It's called Clevgrand, and it's Synsphere. I couldn't believe that this was free. So, why is this plugin so interesting? Well, there are actually no presets. What you get is this kind of 3D ball with lines, and you'll see that there's descriptions. Lush strings 16.7%, and it changes as you click and toggle the shape. So let's hear what that sounds like. This might be a bit wacky, but trust me, this is really fun. All right, so let's play a better riff. That might be good for adding texture. The final one, this one's really popular. It's Vital Audio, Vital. Wow, it's asking me to sign in. So this is the synth Vital. It's basically a copy of the synth Serum, and it's a fully featured synth for free. But one of the really cool things today is that there are a lot of really good presets, and I can't stress, if you have this synth, first off, I really think you should download this synth. It's really good. It comes with a few presets for free, but not a lot, but you can find some. The best pack is from Echo Soundworks. He is a beast when it comes to sound design, and he's a beast with Logic Pro. So let's hear some of his presets. Beautiful sounds. And he's got 808s for you guys if you make hip hop or trap. This re-space. And I really like this Moog. And all of this is for free. There's another pack called Festival Anthems. And it's also pretty good. really, really nice. So that's Vital Synth for you. Next, we're going to look at Christian Hansen and what he does, because the things that he's doing and the things that he's done, I think he's basically a hero in the music production community. Okay, so Christian Hansen is a beast. The first thing that he released was a plugin called Spitfire Audio. And Spitfire Audio, let me just open up the app. Spitfire Audio is like the alternative of Contact for people without a budget, right? It's for free. And if you click the Labs tab over here, once you've downloaded the app, this is completely for free. You can actually download these packs, Frozen Strings, Lap Steel, Mandolin, etc., all for free. I really can't believe it. And they constantly update what is available, so you should definitely check this out. This is a very, very famous plugin. I'm sure you've already heard about it. Now, let's hear some of the sounds for those of you that don't know. Let's go to synths, and let's just play, right? Lastly, I want to talk to you guys, and this is specific for Logic Pro. I want to talk to you about something called Piano Book. It's also by Christian Hansen. This is Piano Book's first Piano Book's website. It's not just pianos. If you click library, you first have to sign up. You'll notice that there's pads and synths, pianos. This is community oriented. He's kind of curated a really, really good community of sound designers and musicians to make free open source instruments for us to use. So I can click this and I can download it. This is the unzipped file. Now I'm gonna bring this over. I'm gonna organize it. I'll show you. I'm gonna bring it over here and let's just move this guy here. So here it is. I've gone to my files, searched my directory. Really, really ugly interface, by the way. I'm gonna click instruments. I'm gonna drag this over. This is free. I cannot believe it. Let's hear what this sounds like. Now, Contact is not a free plugin, obviously. So you might be wondering, hey, how do I play this with whatever I have in Logic? Well, the cool thing about Logic is that its sampler is very, very smart. It can figure out the pitch of any sample that you drag in for the most part. So I have my library saved over here. Let's just find another one. Let's get Brodero. And here it is. These are some of the samples that they've recorded. Let's just get a bunch and just drag them in. There you go. It's importing it. And now everything is arranged in key, which is really, really cool. You can actually go to your synth and bring up the release so it's more realistic. So you can download a bunch of free libraries from this website. Even if you don't have Contact, you can get the audio files and drag it in yourself and build your own instruments in like 4 seconds. Just pull out this release and you're good to go. Last thing, we're gonna talk about some free audio plugins. Okay, we have this pad from Podolsky, and this is what it sounds like. The first plugin I want to show you is an LFO tool alternative. It's called Flux Mini, and the reason why I like this is because of how easy the interface is and how low the CPU footprint is for me. So I'm going to turn it on. You have a sync feature with the timing, and you have a resonance filter and a high pass filter, right? So you can add resonance for these two. When you toggle on the amp, it turns off. You also have some MIDI options. You can snap the grid on, and you can turn on and off the visualizer. So that's Mini Flux. The second one is called Cassette Player, or Tape Cassette, sorry. And it's kind of like a lo-fi thing. Both of these plugins are made by a company called Calum Audio, and I highly suggest you get these plugins. I find them to be really good. The next plugin that I want to show you is Freeamp, and it's a distortion plugin. So this is it turned off, and all the way to the max. I really like this because when you bring the drive all the way up, it kind of equals out the volume. So now I'm going to bring this back down. And for those of you who really nerd out with mixing, if you want a free channel strip plugin, there's a plugin called Loaded by Analog Obsession, and it looks like this. I actually don't know how to mix this way that well, sorry about that, but you might be interested in trying it out. It's completely free, and this developer, he's on Patreon. You can get all of his plugins for free, and he makes a lot of analog emulation plugins. I personally already love Logic Pro stock plugins, and I think it covers a lot of ground for me. But for those of you who want that, you have that option. So that's it for the plugins, and what I wanted to show you was this track. It's like a little demo track I made using all the free plugins together, right? So I have Tyrell, I have a Contact Library, I have Mono Fury, and I have Vital, all of these things. My drums as well, they are free. They're from a guy named, I think Biker, B-V-K-E-R. You can check him out. I'll give you a list. And I'm using drums from Cymatics. All of these are royalty free and free to use. And this is, what the track sounds like. I'll just play a bit.